An update has just came in today concerning the case of the young girl that was allegedly assaulted in Ballymena over the summer. That sparked a lot of public disorder, civil unrest, rioting, not just in Ballymena, but it spread over to Larne. It went down to Portadown in particular. And for quite a time, there was a lot of tension in the air around this assault that had been allegedly carried out by at least two Romanian teenagers who were arrested and have been remanded in custody ever since then. Well, today, just well, out of the blue for us, because we're just finding out about this today, but they have been released without any charge. The case has been withdrawn, apparently. And this, in and of itself, is causing a lot of speculation, which is not right because people are being urged not to speculate. But at the same time, it's very, very difficult not to at least scratch your head with this one to try and make head nor tail of what's going on. So I'm going to try and bring you the facts, what I've been able to glean this afternoon, what's actually happened, and what may happen now. So the actual headline here, this is a local MLA who's a representative in that area, the Ballymena area in North Down, John Burrows. The headline reads, two Romanian teenagers accused of attempting to assault a schoolgirl in Ballymena are to have the charges withdrawn, a judge ordered today. So this is literally just happening this afternoon. The judge has ordered the charges to be withdrawn. That's it. And then the story follows. But the response from the local MLA has been, this will be a devastating development for the victim, her family, and many in the wider community. This is his opinion, his beliefs. Okay. I'm just relaying them back to you. I will be engaging with the PSNI, which is the Police Service of Northern Ireland now, and also in due time, the Public Prosecution Service. I would strongly urge everyone to remain calm, and we will keep you updated. So this is obviously concerns that this will spark more civil unrest and violence in the area. He's appealing for calm, says it'll be a devastating development. Other people are saying, well, if they've been released and the case has been withdrawn, then there's no more to say about it. But of course, it's not just that straightforward. It's not just that simple. So the information that is coming in today, Romanian teens, I don't want to say the word, I hate the word, especially in relation to an underage girl, but accused of that heinous alleged assault that sparked riots have their charges dropped. The boys aged 14 and 15 were accused of the crime in Antrim, in a court in Antrim on the 7th of June. So they've been held on remand ever since. They weren't released on bail, and another third youth fled the country on the back of this. Also, and then of course that sparked the scenes that you're seeing, some of the photographs here, burning vehicles and houses being smashed up and people being burnt out. Larne Leisure Centre was attacked, Portadown, went up in flames for a couple of nights also. Very, very tense. In a previous hearing, there were claims that the girl was dragged down an alleyway into a garage but escaped when her would-be attackers were disturbed and ran off. So that was the story that was reported at the time. However, the PPS has granted permission to end criminal proceedings against the pair due to, quote, significant evidential developments at Belfast Youth Court. So that's between June, July, August, September, October, November. So 5 full months. It's been over 5 months, almost 6 full months it's been for this to come to light, these significant evidential developments. The teenagers will now be released from juvenile detention centre. They're being held in a place called Hydebank, where they've been held for more than 5 months. Another youth who was suspected to have been involved in the alleged attack is believed to have fled to Romania the day after. So 2 were arrested, 2 were held, One ran off back to Romania again. None of the accused can be identified because of the ages. Then, following the alleged assault, widespread, in the BBC's words, racially motivated attacks took place in the town before spreading to other parts of Northern Ireland. So that's where we're at with this one now. Spokesperson for the PPS, we have recently been made aware of significant developments. It doesn't say what they are. It doesn't go into any further detail. They've just said, in light of this new evidence, it has been determined the test for prosecution is no longer met. Therefore, the case should not be proceeding. So I don't know if it's normal to say what that evidence would be, but they're obviously not giving any further details. They're just saying the case is dropped, new evidence, that's it. Case closed. That's effectively what they're saying. So the prosecution team and police met with the complainant and her family this morning to explain the reasons for the decision. So they went and visited the girl who was the victim of the alleged assault and her family to explain the reasons for the decision. I don't know if they went into any more detail with them also, or they just said, look, stuff has came up, we can't go any further, that's it. And that's the way it is. It's described as a very sensitive case, understandably. The defendant's barristers raised no objection to withdrawal. The sooner this can be relayed to Woodlands, the sooner these two youths can be released. So they're going to be back out now, I would imagine. Will the third guy who ran off, will he come back from Romania? Who knows? Will they be relocated? I would imagine so. But again, it's all very sudden and out of the blue. District Judge George Connor said he's aware this is very sensitive. And then he goes on to say, the less I say about it, the better. So that's coming from the district judge, not from me. A detective chief inspector, Stephanie Finlay, said any reported crime is taken extremely seriously, thoroughly investigated. We continue to encourage those who have been the victims of those type of crimes to come forward and report to us. So almost as if this finding would be off-putting to someone to come forward and bring a case if the person they alleged is then let off suddenly. So maybe that again is just a normal statement to make. I would remind everyone to remain respectful and refrain from speculation, especially in social media. Well, again, I'm not speculating. I'm telling you what has been reported. Now, interestingly, I went back to the original report in this one. Now, this is going back to June, and it talks about the alleged accused confirmed their names and ages through a Romanian interpreter. They were sitting side by side. They appeared on video link. And noticeably, a police constable said she believed she could connect the pair to the charge. So there was obviously, at the time, at least the police believed, again, I'm going by a report that was released back in June, that she could connect the pair to the charge. There was no application made for bail. However, both boys denied the charge, and then they were remanded in custody until they were then, kept in this detention center, this juvenile detention center. So it's interesting the way this is panned out. I'm just having a look here to see. Yeah, that's the way it seems to be. So it's very up in the air at the moment. Very up in the air at the moment. The police service said they acknowledge the decision. They're not contesting it or fighting it. There will be follow-up on all lines of inquiry to ensure justice. So there you have it, folks. There you have it. That's the update. And I'll go back to the initial screenshot. And if I can get it for you here, yeah, from the MLA, just echoing his words. Remain calm. Updates will follow, but he believes it will be a devastating development for the victim, her family, and many in the wider community. Some people are reading things into that, that it's almost like a veiled threat. I don't see it that way. He's telling people that are going to be upset. Of course they are. There's going to be people upset in the area, but unless the full facts are released, the lack of information and suspicion and frustration, people do speculate. That's just the way people are, but they're being encouraged not to. So stay calm. So that's the state of play in that one as per now. Share this out. Let people know what's going on. Leave a comment below. Tell me what you think if you want to, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already done so. For now, I'm Rick Munn. This is No Risk, No Reward Media, over and out.